somewhere around 2013, 2015, 2016, we started to experience the impacts of climate change on our loan portfolio. We have heavy investments in agriculture. And so whenever there's an event, a drought, a storm, floods, as we have seen the last couple of weeks, it always results in losses to farmers, which translate into defaults in loan payments. So in 2017, we decided that we were going to, we did a new strategic plan. And one of the main strategies in that plan, outlined in that plan, is that we were going to mainstream climate in our operations. One of the things that we recognize that we need to do is to mobilize finance, concessionary finance, for funding adaptation and mitigation measures in the productive sector. So what has happened since then, after the gap assessment, the Caribbean Development Bank, which is a regional institution that has worked with D.F.C for very many years as our primary funding source, they agreed to assist us with addressing the gaps that were identified from the G.C.F gap assessment. And so we got together with G.C.F and we prepared a funding proposal. And that proposal was recently approved in the first week, I think, of December. So coming out of that, we will now get the technical assistance funding to do consultancies, regional and even national consultancies, that will help us plug in those gaps. Once we address those gaps, the process to accreditation of the G.C.F will now be accelerated. We will finalize our application, and then we will now be able to go directly to the G.C.F for funding for projects up to $40 million US. Small for G.C.F, but large for a country like Belize. So in terms of the D.F.C, it's going to create an additional non-traditional source of funding for the productive sector. And in terms of the country of Belize, it is going to attract what we call foreign capital for financing investments in the country, but not just investments, but climate smart investments.